everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. We're doing a full face of drugstore makeup, as it said in the title. I feel like, I don't know, what am I supposed to say after that? That's what we're doing. I don't know how to do intros, but I do want to, at the end of this video, kind of add up the price of every product that I use, because I feel like a few years ago, you could do a full face from the drugstore for under $10 and still have like really good quality products. The prices are no longer what they used to be, so I have all of what I deem to be like the best drugstore makeup, and I want to add up all the prices together at the end to see, is it under $100 or is it over $100? So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Primer, I'm going to be going in with my typical combo, which is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion and then the CoverGirl TruBlend Skin Enhancer Primer Velvet Blur. And this is not just for this video. These are the primers that I use every day when I do my makeup, no matter what. The Lumi Glotion just gives like the most gorgeous underglow to the makeup, but it also has like a smoothing effect. It makes my skin super smooth. My makeup sits beautifully on top of it, doesn't break up. It's not like sparkly glittery. There are some under makeup glowy primers that are just sparkle city, and that's just, you know, it's not for me. Looks smooth all day long. I don't understand. There's really nothing else like it on the market, and it happens to be drugstore. And then the CoverGirl just goes under my eyes to prevent creasing in my concealer. Then I take a little bit of the excess around the little nostrils, because I feel like that area could just always use a little bit extra smoothing, extra love. That's where my makeup tends to bunch up. And then sometimes if I have extra left, I'll just put it in that little crease on my chin, because similar to the nostrils, that's like where my makeup tends to bunch a little bit. For foundation, this is another step where I rarely stray from the drugstore. I love the Wet n Wild Photofocus Dewy foundation. I am almost out of mine, so much so that the paddle cannot reach the edges of the bottle anymore, so I'm literally going in with like a spatula, little scooper, like I'm almost out. And I love how pink this foundation is. It's kind of hard now. I feel like back in the day we'd have pink or orange, and now there's only yellow foundations, which makes no sense. This is one of the ranges that still has really great pink undertones if you are very cool toned. And the way that they label the foundations, like this has a name, it says Rose Ivory, and then it says light cool. Like all of them have what kind of shade range they're in, and then the undertone, which thank you for putting it in the shade name. I have just never had a bad foundation day when I have worn this foundation. Also, I have no mirror right now. I'm like going off of like the little reflection back there in my window. So if it is not blending well right now, I promise it will when I can look in the mirror. And this is just one quick layer of the foundation. It has a gorgeous kind of medium coverage, and this foundation builds very beautifully. If I want full coverage, I'll just go in with like another layer of the foundation, and it will last all night. Full coverage, you cannot see a dang thing through it, but it still looks so gorgeous and skin-like. It is both somehow the best and the most affordable foundation I have ever used. I don't make the rules, and just play the game. Now for concealer, kind of two things new and different going on here. I'm gonna try, well not try, I've used this a couple times. This is the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. I have used this a couple times. I've really enjoyed it every time I've used it, but I don't have any sponges and all my brushes are dirty, and I don't want to have to use a brush. So I'm gonna try something I've been seeing all over TikTok, which is wetting a puff. I'm just gonna take like a little facial spray. I guess you could also use water, but I'm gonna just kind of dampen this a tiny bit. I'm gonna let that marinate in the corner. I have the shade 1, by the way. I love how creamy it is, because every time I've used this, it's very creamy, but it blends out super well. It's not too thick. I'm gonna use that to brighten a little bit. I really hope this does not ruin my makeup, because I have things to do today. Okay, on the face, it's turned out good. I guess just go for it. Just go for it. Nothing we can do at this point. Okay, that was good. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I am so nervous about this. Don't ruin my makeup today. I have places to be, people to see. You know what? It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's not, you know, the most seamless blend like you would get with a sponge. And my storage was full. It stopped recording, but I blended both eyes, and this is how it's looking up close, personal. I think it looks really good. I have to say, I need to use it more. I need to try it more. This is just a one-time use. In a pinch though, I mean, it did the job, it blended. And when I told you all of my brushes are dirty, this is what we're applying our bronzer with. A mini brush. They're all dirty. This is from Colourpop. This is the bronze Stix in the shade Laguna Beach. Also, just the packaging on these, Like, they didn't even try to put that in there. I love this formula from Colourpop. It is extremely creamy, and also the undertones are fairly neutral, which I find just for any bronzer, not even a drugstore bronzer, just any bronzer, is a little bit harder to find because they all are orange. There's no other undertone, no pinky undertone, no more like neutral undertone. I didn't use that much, but it blended in so gorgeous into the makeup. Just looks so natural, so good. The blend is seamless, and I barely did anything to it. It's just how creamy the formula is. I feel like I always forget to put like blush and bronzer on my nose, and then I get done with my makeup and I'm like, why does it look so weird? And it's because you need to define your nose. Now I have cleaned off the bronzer brush, and we are going to use it again for blush. This is the e.l.f. Camo blush in the shade Suave Mauve. I think that this formula is really good. I believe these are like $8 or something, which is, you know, kind of high for e.l.f. e.l.f. needs to, you know, remember where they came from, because they are getting entitled, let me tell you. Oh my god, e.l.f. putting out things for $14 should be illegal. Anything over $10, so honestly over $8, should be criminalized. What do you mean you're putting out a $14 primer? Makes no sense. e.l.f. needs to stay under $10. Remember who they are. Like Wet n Wild, I don't believe they have anything over $10 because they know their roots. e.l.f. got cocky. They're getting cocky, but like people are paying it, I guess. But do you guys remember when e.l.f. used to be like $1 and $3? Like there was their basic $1 line, and then like their luxury line was $3. Oh my goodness, I ate that stuff up. I didn't know if it was good quality or not, couldn't tell you, I was a child. But they made makeup that was affordable, and they just don't do that anymore. And I mean, that goes for a lot of these brands. Like L'Oreal is, they're getting up to Sephora pricing. As a consumer and as someone who loves drugstore makeup and loves finding affordable beauty, it's kind of like a little bit of a slap in the face as a consumer for e.l.f. to be pricing their stuff so high, because the people who grew them can no longer buy from them. And it's like, the shade is gorgeous. Suave Mauve, beautiful, cool tone, but still gives like that rosiness to the cheeks. It also has like a little bit of shine to it. And they're a beautiful formula. Is it worth $8? Absolutely. It is a phenomenal formula. On it, maybe better than Rare Beauty. To be fair, I haven't used the Rare Beauty formula in, I believe, like 2 or 3 years. So I'm just going off of my memory of the Rare Beauty. I'm gonna be completely honest. Next step is setting powder. I don't have a drugstore setting powder that I love. If you do, please let me know, because I would love to have a drugstore setting powder. I find them very hit or miss with my makeup, so I just tend to steer clear. So I'm just gonna go in with my Makeup by Mario. But if you have a drugstore setting powder that you love, please tell me, comment down below, because I need one. So this will be excluded from the final tally count at the end. And this is my makeup after being set. I was gonna go in with a second blush, but I actually don't think I need it because I feel like we're still getting a lot of color and like that shine from the e.l.f. blush. But we'll see. If I feel like I need more at the end, I do have a powder, blush, and bronzer picked out in case I need them. But now I just feel like there's powder all in my brows, which is like the worst thing. I'm gonna grab the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is in the shade Neutral Brown. This is just a fiber brow gel. It doesn't have any holds, but I really like this, especially like after I powder, or if I'm just like have like a couple bald spots that I need to fill in, because it just adds that color and that fiber. It doesn't like add like any like blockiness or anything to the brows. It kind of just helps my brows come back to like what they were. Especially having fuller brows, like brow products have always scared me a little bit, because my this is just my brow with nothing done to it. They can become block brows so fast. Like this, I just try and bring back color, shape them a little bit, like put the hairs in their place. And that's all I do for brows. If you are looking for someone to learn brow stuff from, I am not your gal, because these have just been my brows my whole life. I do not know how to fill in brows because I've never had to know. And for the eyes, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. This is the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox, because it is just like a wonderful, cool toned dream. This is a kind of new one, so that's why it's not red to filth. It is such a good palette if you are someone who wants cool tones. Every shade in a cool tone. Like there's pinks, there's grays, there's browns. If you need a good cool tone, this is absolutely 100% worth the money, because you also get like 30 shades. My favorite kind of like one and done shadow is this one right here. It's called Bold Type. Cool, taupey, mauvey brown. Keeping this like very like simplistic. So I'm just gonna pick up that shade, and then maybe, I don't know, if I want to do some more, we can do some more. The tones in this palette are stunning, and it's Colourpop formula, Colourpop quality, which is, I mean, like top tier at the drugstore. Not too dark that I can't wear it for daytime, but it's like just dark enough that it adds a good amount of shadow and just really emphasizes my natural like eye color and the cool tones in my makeup. It's a little bit heavier with it today than I normally do, just for you, but this is that shade of bold type, just all over the lids, also buffed out a little bit on my lower lids. Like, it's just the perfect natural cool toned mauve brownie taupe. I would recommend buying this palette just for that shadow. If they sell singles of the shadow, I would definitely get one because it is just so stunning. Then on a tiny brush, I'm just gonna take the shade Fascinated right there and put that just a little bit on the inner corner. Okay, so that shade actually reads a lot more purple on the eyes. This shade right here reads very purple on those inner corners. Not mad about it, not what I was, you know, expecting or going for, but okay, now let's go in with mascara. This is the Colourpop Level Up Mascara. I feel like we have a lot of Colourpop in here today. Here's what I respect about Colourpop is that they have always kind of kept their prices consistent and their quality consistent. Their quality has always been some of the best at the drugstore, and their prices, they were never like as low as e.l.f. prices. Like, they've always been between like that kind of like $8 to $10, $15 kind of dollar range. I'm not mad about a $9 mascara. This is my favorite mascara of all time. It is the Level Up Mascara. Again, just a very gorgeous lengthening mascara. And on like a $9 mascara, when Sephora mascara is sometimes like $32. What the is up with that? This is my third tube of this mascara. Like, I love this mascara. It is so good at lengthening, separating the lashes. And also, I'm like a 1 coat, maybe a 2 coat of mascara kind of girl. So my mascaras, like, they have to work. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and put on 9 coats of a mascara to get like the desired effect or like what the mascara is supposed to do. So I always appreciate a mascara that works on 1 coat. Like, this gives length. I haven't dipped back in to the tube at all, and this is the length of my lashes. And you know what, I do feel like we need a little bit more blush, especially now that we have like a darker eye going on. So I'm gonna grab the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. This is in the shade 3, Goldy Cassis. It's just like a very, again, nice purpley cool tone. It translates to like a pink on me, but it is stunning. And I do wish it had a little bit less glitter, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I don't want something as, you know, sparkly. It's just a personal preference. They have other shades that aren't as sparkly, but I love the shade of this so much. I'll deal with the sparkle, you know. Yes, I always put blush on my forehead. I find that the more places that you put the same product, it helps the makeup look more cohesive. Like, it's not just this one color here and then it's nowhere else on the face. It kind of makes your face all look like it belongs together. On the lips, I want to go in with this kind of bolder kind of shade. This is the shade Bumble from, again, Colourpop. They're a Lippie pencil, and this might ruin the look. It may not go with everything because it's a bit warmer in tone. It's not as cool toned as everything else we have going on, but I don't know. I really want to try the shade. We'll see. If it's bad, I'll take it off, do something else, and then I'll cut this footage out. I have to uncross my legs. Bold lip liners stress me out. I personally tend to find the Colourpop Lippie pencils a bit drying, so I had a really good lip balm on before I started my makeup, that my lips would be a bit moisturized already so that the pencil wouldn't dry them out too much. It definitely draws the attention, but here's the thing. I think because it's not too bold and not too bright, and the eyes are a little bit darker and they're also not too bold, but they're also not plain, I feel like the visual weight is pretty well distributed. So this is the final look. I'm gonna lock everything in with a setting spray. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. This does have a little bit of like sparkle in it that mixes in once you shake it, but I find that it doesn't make my makeup glittery, but I've also only tried it once, so maybe we're gonna ruin my makeup. Let's find out. Okay, no sparkle. It just made me, like, honestly, barely even that dewy. It didn't ruin my makeup, and I cannot say that for every setting spray. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the time setting spray does more harm than good. Like, it'll just like fuck up my makeup or make my makeup look bad. So I'm very, very picky with setting sprays. I do not like a lot of them for that reason. I tend to skip it most days because, again, I just feel like it ruins my makeup. Our grand total for this full face of drugstore makeup is $122.96, which, yes, it is over 100 still, but I feel like that's not as bad. I feel like it could be way worse. We did use 2 blushes and 2 primers. I feel like just nix one of those and you're gonna be below 100 because I added everything up in like the opposite order of how I applied it. So I started with, you know, the setting spray and then ended with the primers. And before I put in the primers, it was at $99 and some change. So I feel like nix one of the primers, nix one of the blushes, or to be fair, this is a $35 eyeshadow palette. It also is a large eyeshadow palette. So that, just take this out. If you just have like a single shadow or just like a more affordable, like a $10 eyeshadow palette, it's gonna be below 100. So not too bad. A lot of these products are under $10. There were only a handful, like 1, 2, 3, I believe only 4 products. This was $10, and then all 3 of these were over $10. So overall, really not too bad in terms of drugstore pricing. As always, down in the comments, let me know what your favorite drugstore makeup products are, if there are any like under $10 affordable gems that you absolutely love, or if you can configure a way to do a full face of makeup under $100, let me know. I would love to try this video again, try and get it under $100. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.